You know, it seems like the more dangerous the gig, the more you like it.
There's an edge to doing unusual stuff, not necessarily dangerous. Occasionally, maybe it veers, or climb something or go to someplace really odd or something like that where you're unsure of the results. But I think that's part of the beauty of photography is that nothing is certain. You know, you take a camera in your hands.
Yeah, in your case, life isn't certain. So, Joe, I'll never forget looking at a picture, and you can tell me where this was, and you'll fill in the blanks. But I want to say it had something to do with mining, and there were these tall poles, and you had to ride in like a bucket or some little thing across. And I looked at this and I thought, there's not enough money in the world to get me to do this. So what was the deal on
it? It wasn't mining. It was a story for the National Geographic on the electrical grid of the United States.
Yes, that was it.
And we were in the Los Angeles forest working with the crews up there. They put me in, they traverse the power lines on these buckets, and they have little engines in them, and you're chugging across. And I'm photographing this guy. And his name was Joe. And he was a great guy, and he was from, I think, Tennessee, had a great kind of southern drawl. And sure enough, my bucket, the transmission drive on it, breaks. And I come rolling back down the wires. I bang into his bucket, and now we're both
How high in the air are you?
300-400 feet. And
on a wire and a bucket.
So, but he had put up these brackets to keep the lines separate. And he just yelled at me, he goes, "See that bracket, Joe? Don't worry about it. We're going no further than that." And so we did. We banged into that and stopped. And now the problem is I didn't have the arm strength to pull, and some of those guys do, not me. And so we were on radio and stuff. We got to get the photographer on. I got to get him into my bucket, et cetera. So he looks at me and he goes, "Joe, this is fun, to remember." He goes, "Joe, we're going to have to get up out of the buckets and do a little do-si-do on the wires here to change buckets." So before I do this, he takes out some chaw, some chew, and he goes, "I'm going to have a little Tennessee coleslaw." And he puts it in his lip, and he goes, "Let's go." And so we literally did kind of this pas de deux, up on the wires, and I got into the other bucket where the engine was actually working, and then I chugged that puppy back up the wires.
If you could see the picture, because I saw the picture, and I was like, you're describing it to me, and I'm not exaggerating. The bottom of my legs are starting to shake. Like I can feel inside, like when I look at someone doing something scary, it makes my own legs shake. Like I'm so scared of heights.
Yeah.
Like
I have the same reaction to stuff. I see people doing stuff, whatever it might, it gets to me. Yeah, you can feel it. And that's the cool thing about maybe trying to translate that experience that you're having through a photograph and make somebody else who's going to look at the pages of the magazine and go, "Oh my, what is this? This is either crazy or what?" And then you get them involved in the story.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're supposed to do as the photographer. You're supposed to arrest people's eyes and say, "Hey, look here," So
there's got to be an easier way to do that, though.
Yeah.
Than being on a thin wire, 300 or 400 feet up in the air.
Well, here's the great thing that Drew Gurian, Drew?
Sure.
Yeah, he's doing really well, by the way.
Oh, yeah, he is. I follow him on social.
Yeah.
He's lighting the world on fire.
And it was his first time in a helicopter. And the helicopters up there the pilots are like surgeons in the air. But you ride up to what they call the goat tips. And you ride up on the outside of the helicopter. You hook onto the side of it, and you stand on the skid. And then the helicopter pilot will come in and tap, to discharge any electric, kind of static or something like that. And then they'll hover the skid right on the edge of the goat tip, and then you have to unhook from the helicopter and go to the goat tip, and you spend the rest of the day up there. Guys are up there having lunch and stuff,
Joe, I want to give you my helicopter story.
Let me hear it.
I'm visiting my friends at B&H. And we have meetings and stuff, and the day's over. And I said, "Well, I'm going to go to my hotel." And they go, "Wait, we have a special surprise for you." And I say, "Great." And we all get in the car, and they're not telling me where we're going. We drive to the New York heliport.
Nice.
We get in the helicopter. We got this helicopter for you. We're going to go shoot. I'm like, this is incredible. And we're getting ready. And now I'm already scared of heights. And we're getting ready to take off. And the pilot starts lifting off. And there's no door. And I go, "Hey, whoa, land. And he comes down and I go, "There's no door." And he goes, "Oh, no, for photographers, we take the..." You put that door the hell back on. Not only did I have them put the door back on, I moved to the center seat. So I wasn't even near the door. And all I did was pray for the hour that we flew around New York, waiting. I couldn't wait to get out of that helicopter.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's the way to do it. You got to get the door off. Then you have the sweep.
No.
Then you have the sweep.
And so when you say out on the skid, Joe, I wouldn't get on the skid on the ground.
Scott, if B&H comes back and says, "Hey, we got some helicopter time," give him my name.